It was always my biggest dream to be at the Olympics. It was impossible for me as an Iranian woman. I don't know how, but I will go there. I knew it's illegal for me. The police is searching for me. It was not safe for me to go back. And I was just crying. I panicked. My visa was expired. I had nothing. Every night I see nightmares. Then I was somehow get depressed and say my retirement and struggle a lot emotionally, physically, mentally, and everything. I just start paddling again. And after 6 months, I became Austrian champion. I raced at the Paris Olympic Games, so my biggest dream had come true.
What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom? It's the thing that I'm fighting for in my whole life. Dream big, because dream can come true.
Saman, during my research today, I had to take a look at some other podcasts you made in the past, and I found like the cover on it, and it says like, I hope that at least one person gets to know my story. So I'm very curious, like, what is your story?
You didn't do research on my story.
Of course I did, but not the listeners maybe.
I know. So basically, should I say everything, or like it's a long story? I think
at the beginning it's really important to, when you want to get to know a person. Yeah. I think it's really important to get to know the first 10 years, maybe of a life. So tell me a bit about your childhood.
So when I was a child, my mom and dad, actually before I come to this world, they said if I will be a boy, they will send me to football, and if I will be a girl, they will send me to swimming. So obviously I was a girl, and then they decided to send me to swimming. I started swimming at the age 5, and I was very good in swimming, but also it was for the first ever time when I was 7 years old, it was also a team of artistic swimming. And I was looking at them, and I tried to do what they do, and then I tried to copy them basically, but I was not in the class. And their coach saw me, and then she reached out to my mom, and she told her that she's so talented, you should bring her also to artistic swimming. That was hard for us because it was expensive. And then my mom talked with my dad, and my dad said, okay, I will send you to artistic swimming, but there's one condition, that you have to continue your swimming as well. And then I said, okay. So basically every day I go 2 times to swimming pool. Once I swim, and the second time I go to artistic swimming.
And where do you have more fun, by the way?
In artistic swimming. I didn't like swimming that much. I just do it because my father said that that's the condition, that I do artistic swimming. Yeah. And then, but actually then I found out that swimming helped very much to be also good in artistic swimming. And therefore I was also, afterward, I love to do that.
Yeah. Why was it so important for your father?
Because he wanted me to do one sport, because I started swimming first, and he wants to have a result at the end, so he didn't want that I start something, then I stop it, and then the next thing, he wanted me to continue something.
Yeah, but for your father, it was important that you do the artistic swimming and not the normal swimming.
The normal swimming. My father said, I will register you in the artistic swimming, and the condition is there is only one condition, that you don't skip the swimming. So you have to swim, and then plus that you go to artistic swimming as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever dream of representing your country?
So basically, I was always dream of having something international, and I was multiple national champion in artistic swimming for more than 15 years in Iran. But my father never had a chance to see what I am doing, because it's illegal for the guys to see the girls at the swimming pool.
Really?
Yeah, so I was racing and I became national champion, but I never experienced this feeling that I win a race and then my father come and I hug them and I get the medal. I never experienced this. And that's my biggest father's regret. He could never see me swim. He could never see me win. And that's pretty sad. And that was why actually at the age 18, I decided to start kayaking as well, because I love water sports. and the movement is similar to swimming. So I just started kayaking, and I wanted to have something international that my father also could see me. And I won silver medal in Asian Championship in 2018, and so this dream had come true.
When was the first time you realized that the sport in Iran for a female comes with limits and restrictions?
I guess from when I entered the swimming pool and I saw my father cannot come with me when I was 5 years old. Yeah, that was pretty sad. And he always said the only thing I know from Saman and winning is he was standing behind the swimming pool and he was just listening when they say my name, and he was like had tears, and that's the only thing he can just imagine how it looked like.
Yeah. What was your father's opinion about this whole restrictions stuff?
I mean, you have to ask him. But my father always tell me like he always wants me to continue and keep going. And he always tell me that I should be independent, and doesn't matter what other people say and what are the rules, I should follow my dreams and be strong.
So the reason for the change to kayaking was only because like that your father can watch it also?
That was one of the reason, and also I would love to have something international, because for swimming and artistic swimming it was not possible. I was multiple national champion, and that was the limit, because they don't send any Iranian to any international races because of the Islamic rules and the hijab. The women should cover all their body except face and like hand from here when they are in public. So it's forbidden that the men see the women without the hijab. So basically when you swim, you have to wear a swimsuit, so it's not the hijab. And when I enter the swimming pool, it's only women. And that's why they don't send the women athletes internationally for racing and stuff in the sports that they should not have any hijab, like swimming, artistic swimming, diving, and this kind of things.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I did some research, by the way, and then it was saying like in 2022 you were invited to a swimming camp in Barcelona, right?
Yeah, in artistic swimming camp. Yeah, so basically I had to go a little bit back because I born at the Olympic year, and I watched my first Olympic when I was 4 years old, and it was always my biggest dream to be at the Olympics. And I always had this dream, and I always tell to everyone that I will be at the Olympics, and everyone said, yeah, that's so nice, but nobody also wanted to tell me that you cannot, because it was impossible for me as an Iranian woman. And yeah, I always tell to them that I don't know how, but I will go there. And the only one that like always tell me that, yes, I'm sure you will go, was my mom and my dad. But the other people were like, okay, but it's not possible. And I also had like some videos from my childhood that I have this this thing for learning swimming. And I'm wearing them. I was afraid of water so much, you know. I couldn't go to the water. I was crying, and I had a fear of going to the water. And I'm wearing them with like tears. And I said, I don't want to swim, but I want to go to Olympics. And I was just 5 years old.
And your mom and your dad always like supported you and said, hey, you will go to the Olympics? Because like I really do appreciate it, because they could also say like, right, you know, it's not possible for you to go to the Olympics and stuff, because like when you see it in a normal way, it is not possible. I guess
maybe
right?
in their mind was impossible, but they never tell this to me.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, actually, when I talked to them, they said that it was impossible. They knew it, but they never told that to me.
Okay, so what exactly happened in 22 in Barcelona?
Oh yeah, so I was when I started kayaking, then I won silver medal in Asian Championship, and then I was one of the main hope for the previous Olympic for Iran, and the Iran only sent the guys to the qualification, not the girls. And then I felt so bad because I trained so much, and it was really I had a really high chance to get to the previous Olympic, it's a guy country, and then I was somehow get depressed and say my retirement, so I stopped kayaking. And I started as a coach. And when I started as a coach, I had a big team with 60 athletes. And my athlete also became national champion in artistic swimming. And before each session, I always talk to them about mindset, about everything. Because in Iran, the community get the self-confidence from the girls. And they tell them that you're nothing, you cannot do anything. You should be dependent to the guys. And I always tell them before the classes about motivation, about setting goals, about being disciplined, about being strong, about being independent woman, about follow their dreams. And then one session, I asked them that they should have a role model. They should see how they reach their goals, and they should read, because one of the things that you can learn and you can understand it is possible. It's that you read the story of other successful people that did something which feel impossible for the other ones, but they did it. So it makes you to feel and understand that, okay, if he or she could do it, I can do it as well. And then if someone tell me, paint your role model, I would probably paint Arnold or Djokovic. Yeah, and then I asked them to find a role model, paint it. Next session, when they came back, more than 90% of them were painted me. And that was a time that
How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I think my life is divided to two parts, before this session and after this session, because that was the time that I realized if I can influence people, if I can be their motivation, if I'm their role model, and I have to be successful, because they will look at me and they are not alone. They have sister, brother, friends, and then family, and all of them come from different families. Some of them very religious, some of them not. And I will always try to motivate them. And that was the time that I thought that, okay, so I have to keep going, even stronger than the past. And then in this meantime, I got an invitation. I was invited to the artistic swimming camp in Barcelona with the Olympic athlete, Olympic medalist, with the world champions of the artistic swimming. And before me, no Iranian woman have ever participated in such a event. And then I knew it's illegal for me as an Iranian woman, but I didn't participate from Iran. I participated there as an individual person. And so I just decided to go there because I wanted to learn more, to be able to teach to my athletes more, and also tell to the world that, okay, we are in Iran, nobody could see us until now, but we are able to do this. We are also in a very good level. But unfortunately, because of the rules, there is really no possibility for us to be in public, to race, to show what we can do. And I was there, and it was such a great camp. I really enjoyed, and I really learned a lot. I put so much videos of me, of the training and everything on my social media and Instagram. And actually the coaches and the champions were also so impressed that they said that we could never imagine that Iran has artistic swimming and they are that good. And that was somehow also sad for them, sad for me. I was always thinking that, oh my God, there is always a limit for my athletes. And so on the way back, when I was at the airport, I got calls that the police is searching for me because my photos with Bikini and everything was in the internet and everyone saw them. And basically I was famous in Iran. I was multiple national champion. I was silver medalist. I was part of the national team. And it was not safe for me to go back. And so I was there with one suitcase for 10 days and that was my whole life. And I only knew one person in the whole Europe. His name is Uwe. Then I called him in the 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and called him so many times. And then I wrote him just emergency. And then he picked up at the end and he said, like, what's happened? And I was just crying. I panicked and I told him that, Uwe, can I come to you for some days? And he said yes. And I even didn't know which city he lives. And then he said, take a ticket for Vienna. I bought a ticket for Vienna at the airport. And then I fly to Vienna. And 1 week after I arrived in Vienna, this Women Life Freedom started. I don't know if you heard about it. They killed a Iranian 24-year-old woman, Mahsa Amini. because of the hijab, because he was obviously on the street and his like a scarf was a little bit back and her hair was outside. And imagine what would they do with me with bikini. And they killed her. So it was like a big movement from the people that's called like Women Life Freedom in Iran started. They killed many people. They killed 3 of my friends. They arrested many of my friends, and some of them just came out of the prison 1 month before the Olympic Games. Like for 2 years they were in prison without doing anything my age, and just going to the street because they just want to be free. They just want to be safe. That was like extremely hard to see all these things, but I couldn't go back anymore. And it was also hard for me to accept it because I also didn't do anything bad or anything illegal. And so I couldn't go back. I was at the Vienna. My visa was expired. I had nothing. Like my whole life was just a suitcase for 10 days. I even didn't have the warm clothes because I was in August in Barcelona for the swimming camp. And then it gets cold in Vienna, and it was also very challenging. When I arrived here, I tried everything to get a student visa, to get the job offer visa, because I was also Olympian in mathematics and I had a bachelor in accounting and I could study in the university, but it was not possible because for applying the visa, you have to apply from outside of the country. And it was not possible. The only way was asking for asylum. And of course, I was eligible for asylum because my life was in danger. But I really didn't want to do it because of the view of the people to the refugees, to the asylum people. We always see in the news and everything that they don't have a good reputation in Europe or anywhere else in general. And I didn't want to do it, but that was my only thing that I could do. But right now I'm really happy, and I was afraid basically. And every night I see nightmares that 2 people come and wants to force me to send me back to Iran. And now, even nowadays, I see this nightmare once in a while. And now I'm safe and everything is fine, but it's somewhere behind.
I think that's quite normal, right?
Yeah, after 2 years. Now I'm safe. Now I'm living in a good country and everything is fine. But still, I struggle with some like memories and everything, nightmares and everything.
Did you ever have the feeling like, how do you deal with it to not go in the victim role? Because it would be so easy for you to say, why me?
Yeah.
A lot of other girls, they can do whatever they want. Sometimes they go even over the limit, and I'm not even allowed to do what I love.
Yeah.
And it's nothing illegal, right? So
yeah, I was feeling so bad. I cried so much, and I was not able to think for some time. And I remember I was sitting near Donna, and I was thinking, okay, so Saman, you have 2 choices. Either you can get a depression and die somewhere here, and that's how your life will end, or you can stand up one more time, fight for your dreams and for your life, and also for everyone who are watching your life and reading your story, and especially for my athletes, for my family, for my friends. And I decided to do the second option. It was not easy. And Uwe and my friend gathered money together. They bought me a paddle and they registered me in a kayak club. I started paddling again after 2 years break, and that was so hard to come back. I don't know if you've ever experienced this feeling or no, but you know what you're able to do, but actually after 2 years you are not able to do any of them. And I started from walking and then running, and then I started to paddle, and I was not even able to paddle for 5 minutes continuously. It was horrible. It was so hard. But they just register me there that I get in the mood, not for something special. And I just start paddling again, and I felt better and better every day. And after 6 months, I became Austrian champion. And then, the Austrian Canoe Federation, they are really supportive. They motivate me, and they said you can train with the national team. And then I joined the national team. I trained with them, and then they sent my case to the Austrian Olympic Committee that there is a girl who's Austrian champion now, and she wanted to race internationally. And then the Austrian Olympic Committee sent my case to the International Olympic Committee because I was not able to race for Iran because I flee from Iran. And I was not able also to race for Austria because I was not Austrian. So they said there is a team which called IOC Refugee Team, and I can participate under the like a neutral athlete at the Olympics with the Olympic flag, and in the international races with the ICF flag. It means International Canoe Federation. So then I raced at my first World Cup, and in my whole life, and it was super exciting for me. I reached the final D, and I finished 36 afterward, and that was like such a big thing for me because I was not a normal athlete. I didn't live the professional life. I was just struggling so much to just survive and just stand on my leg again, and struggle a lot emotionally, physically, mentally, and everything. But I was really happy that I had a chance to be there. I made it to the final, and I was between the best athlete of the world. And on 2nd of May, we qualified for the Olympic Games. So my biggest dream had come true. And I raced at the Paris Olympic Games, and I think that I was the happiest in the world.
How was it feeling to be in Paris?
Actually, when I passed the Eiffel Tower at the opening ceremony, it was exactly look like how it was in my dreams. And
did you visualize it?
Yes, very much. Every day, every night. And I also told to my family that, look, I was there. I was so happy, but it didn't feel that it was my first time that I was at the Olympics, because I go there like more than 1,000,000 times in my dream. And it was the first time in the real life, but it seems that I was there. And it was exactly how I imagined it. And that was crazy. I was so happy. I was the happiest in the world.
Yeah. I just read the book Think and Grow Rich. Do you know this book?
No.
And it says exactly the same, like that visualization is one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really interesting point. So you say you were in Paris, but in your mind you were in Paris 1,000 times, right? What would you say, like how important is this to visualize things in general? And to manifest things?
Yeah, to be honest, that time that I was visualizing Paris Olympic Games, it was not for the purpose that I said, okay, imagine it, and then, it said like fake it until you make it, and imagine it, you will be there. No, it was not for any of this reason. I don't know, it was just something coming from inside, and every time I wanted to go to sleep, I was just seeing myself in front of the Eiffel Tower with the Olympic rings, and I'm so happy. And actually it works. Mm-hmm. So now I can tell you that imagination is very, very important. But that time I didn't know it. I was just passionate about it. I just loved this feeling. I felt it, like I'm there and people are cheering for us and everyone are seeing us, and I made it there, and I was so happy. That was the feeling that makes me happy. That was why I was imagining this, because I could get in a better mood, and I was like, something inside was like, oh my God, I'm there, and it feels so good. Yeah, that was the reason.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I'm really proud of who I am and what I did and everything.
I think you can.
Yes.
Saman, what does freedom mean to you?
Well, I guess freedom, it's the thing that I'm fighting for in my whole life, and my story is about. So it means the world to me, because it means I can decide for myself. I can wear whatever you want. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. Nobody forced me to do something. There is no one like higher than you or lower than you. We are all same, and we are all valuable. And my family and my friends can see me racing. I can go to the stadium. I never been in a stadium, and I was just in a stadium for my first ever time in my life at the age like 27 in the game between Austria and Germany, because it's forbidden for the women to go to a stadium in Iran.
Do you know what I just learned? Like all of the things you just said, I don't even think about it in my life.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking, like how unthankful we are sometimes for what we have, right? Because all of these things, like, it's just so normal for me. I'm not even thinking about it.
And you know how much stress we always tolerate, because it's also very tricky to get the visa to go for the competition, because there is so hard, but you can travel everywhere easily. I just started a project. It's called Paddle Power. It's from the Sports Ministry with our federation, and I'm the ambassador in Vienna. And I'm going to schools, and I talk about my journey and my story and try to motivate the kids, and also talk about canoe and kayak and different sports, water sport that they can paddle. Because the aim of this project is to bring more people to this sport and hoping for the Olympic medal for the future. So I always tell them that you're living in one of the best countries in the world. And I always telling them that you should be grateful and you should appreciate every single positive things that you have in your life. And then they look at me and I ask them, can you give me some examples? And then in the first minute, it's just silent. They're just looking at each other like they don't find anything. And then I'm just telling them that, so you're living in a free country. You can wear whatever you want. And then they, like, it's just like two hands like come up. It's so cute. And then they say, yeah, we should be happy that we have family. And I say, yes. And then they think more that we have friends, that we can have a good food, that we can educate, that we can travel, that we can decide for ourselves, and we can believe in any religion we want. Nobody force us. And we have a flat to live. We have a home. And I tell them the things you have here and you take it as a guaranteed. It's the dream of other people in other parts of the world, which you don't realize. And we have many, many things in our life that we can be grateful for, and we can feel happy. And see, you're healthy, you're beautiful, you can walk, you can see, you can do sport, you can do many, many things.
Yeah.
And that's really important to realize it and just be happy with these small things.
But Saman, why do you think is this the case that we forget about all these things so quickly?
Well, I have to ask you.
No, is it also the case with you? Because now you live here for 2 years.
All these things, it's the training that I did for my mind, because I always stay positive, try to stay positive. And it's very important, because when you try to stay positive, it feels like you put oil in the wheel of your bicycle. Everything goes smoother. And to stay positive and be happy, one of the ways that you can do it is to realize what good things you have in your life. And I started also, I also learned it. So I just take a piece of paper and I just start to write everything I have, And in the mornings when I wake up, I was such a happy person, because I was feel the bed. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I have a bed and I have a roof, and I was so happy. And people saw me and then most of the time they ask me why are you so happy? And then, because I learned to be happy with what I have, because that's not the case. When you read the other people's story, you see that the other ones doesn't have it. And it's a dream.
I think we always see the things we don't have and not the things we have, right?
Yeah, and no, I see the things I do have, because if you will attract everything you focus on.
Yeah, right.
So
what is it where attention goes, energy flows, or something like that, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And if you focus on the things you don't have, this lack and this type of things come to your life more and more.
Right.
So it's important to focus on the things you have and makes you feel happy and you want to have in your life. So that's what I'm trying to do every day.
You said that you also coach people.
Yeah.
What would you say, how important are thoughts in general?
Basically, in my idea, I think everything it's about energy and about your mindset, and everything starts from inside.
Yeah.
So everything you see outside first start inside. So I always try to, as I mentioned, stay positive and see the positive side of the things. And of course, it's hard. It's not an easy thing because mostly, even if you look at my life, I face many, many, many challenges. And in the hard times, in the challenging time, I had to see the positive side, and it's not easy. And of course, I get sad, I get frustrated. I mean, I'm also human, and I have ups and downs, even more than you can imagine. Because as a refugee, I struggle a lot. But it's kind of a learning, and it's kind of also challenging. To stay positive and to be able to manage your emotion, because I think the difference between the people who are successful or more successful and the ones who are not, it's the ones who are successful, they learn how to manage their emotion. And if you learn it and you can come out of this negative mode as fast as possible, then you will see that the things will happen on the way you want. I don't know how. People ask me how. I don't know how. Like when you have a wound, it just heals, right? We don't know how. And it's also, again, the same. I don't know how, but it will happen.
Yeah. There's this saying, let me think if I can make it like, it's saying, take care of your thoughts because your thoughts lead to your emotions. Your emotions lead to your decisions you make.
Yeah.
Right? The decisions you make will lead to the actions you take, and the actions you take will lead to the habits, and the habits will create your future.
Yeah, that's really true.
And I think that's really, really true. And that's why it's so, like, I struggle with that a lot, like with negative emotions, like negative thoughts, like unsatisfied with everything. And as you said before, right, I think 99% of the people in my age would love to change, would love to change with me, because, yeah, as you said, we in Austria, we do have everything we need, right?
Yeah, the main thing is it's totally normal to feel these ups and downs and feel sad, feel frustrated. I also do it every day, When I was training for the Olympic Games, some days I wake up, I was super motivated. I said, oh my God, I rock this world. I'm so lucky. And this day is the best day of my life. The next day I wake up, I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm so tired and I cannot make it. I was so frustrated. I said, today is the worst day of my life. And then, of course, it's very normal,
Right.
Because I face many challenges and I face many different emotions. But the thing is, in this moment, it's very important how you react and how you can manage your emotion. And more you do, more you learn, and more you will be able to manage your thought and emotion, and it will influence your life and everything.
How do you see the current development of the young generation here in Europe in general? When I see you, for example, okay, you work so hard every single day. You just mentioned you work like 6 hours per day, or how much do you train?
Workouts, yeah, between 4 to 5. Yeah.
Right. For a single event, which is in 4 years, Olympic, for example, right? And I have the feeling that the younger generation here in Europe, we just need things super fast. Like everything has to work out really fast. Like we need to earn 10,000 euros with 20, otherwise our life is a mess and stuff. How do you see this?
I don't know about the other ones because I try not to judge other people. I just focus on myself. And I wish that exactly again, if even one person read my story and just try to keep going, it's enough for me. So I try to not focus on the others. I try to manage my energy and emotion and just focus on myself. That's why I don't know it really, honestly. But I have to tell you something. I'm not patient at all. And I know it, yes. And you know, sometimes I used to paint very, very well, but these days and I started to paint and like a little bit, and then when I have to be more patient and pay more attention, I'm just like doing like, oh my god, I cannot do this, and like I'm not patient. But I know that I'm different. So I can be very consistent. And this is something that I learn because, you know, from the family I raised, my father is super, super smart. But, you know, the people who are smart, it's hard for them to focus. And he was super smart, but he was never consistent. My mom, maybe she's not that smart because my father, she's also smart, but my father is super smart, okay? So, yeah, because I know that my mom will see this and then she will call me right afterward, you know? You just said I'm not smart, right? No, you are smart, mom. Yeah, but my father was super smart. But my mom was consistent, you know? And you think which one of them make it happen at the end? My mom. It takes more time, but my dad would give up because he was not patient, he was not focused, he was just super smart. He can learn very fast, he can understand the situation very fast, but my mom was consistent. And then I born and raised in this family, so I had both sides. And my mom just teach me to be consistent, and she teach me that everything is possible to reach. Because once they sent me to the kindergarten, and I came home and I was crying so much, and my mom said like, "What's happened? Why are you crying?" And I told her, you know, they ask us to paint something, and the other kids are painting things, but the only thing I can paint is just like a person like this, you know what I mean, and just mountain like this and just sun like this. That's the only thing I could paint. And I was crying so much, and my mom said, just we just go out. She registered me in a painting class that exactly on that day, and that was the first day. She said I want her to start it now. And then I just go to painting class, and now I'm painting like a big paintings, and it's just in the wall. And from that person that I was not even able to paint like something very simple until this stage that I can paint something big, and I can even, I don't know, sell it or like do like this. What she taught me is everything is possible, you know, you can just learn, be consistent, and it will happen at the end. You can make it. And many, many things. My mom was taking me like to swimming, and then artistic swimming, and also mathematics class, and then basketball. And then my father was also really like me to go to chess, and then they sent me to chess, and then painting, and then English class, and many, many things. And I was super energetic. I had so much energy. If I stay at home, I would do something bad. Definitely, I will destroy something or do something because I was like so energetic. And I love to open everything. So I was opening TV, and I was opening everything. So they just sent me to classes that I was not at home to don't destroy anything. So, and yeah, my father also loved me to play chess and to learn it, because he always would love me to be able to think 3-4 move ahead. And also think about the different possibilities, and that changed my life as well. So I was in a different classes from morning 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at the evening night, and then I came and I sleep, and again they really invest on me. I really owe to them.
I think that's a really good point, like that consistency is just the key, right? Do you think that sometimes we give up too early?
Yeah, I guess so. I think the people who are doing something big or successful or reach their dreams, they are just normal people. I mean, in my case, for example, I am just a normal people. But the difference is I will keep going, doesn't matter what and how I feel, or which kind of challenges I face, and if I feel good or no or bad, I just keep going. And most of the people, maybe when they face some challenges, they will give up. And that's the only thing that makes the people be successful and just give up. I guess that's the only thing, because we are just normal people.
What advice would you give to young people here in Austria?
I would say dream big, because dream can come true. Even if you don't believe it, even if it feels so impossible, dream big, because really the dream can come true.
Do you think that a lot of young people here, then I think it's so important to know your why.
Yeah.
Why you're doing what you're doing, right?
Actually,
and how is it possible to dream big when you don't even know like what is your why and why you're doing it, right?
Yeah. So I'm also a speaker, and I also talk about mental health and also the motivation and mindset and all these things. So for me, after the Olympic Games, I faced the post-Olympic depression, and I couldn't believe that this can happen, and this is true. And I was at the Olympics. That was my biggest dream. And I came back. I was sitting in my room. I was crying from morning to evening, the whole day without any reason. And everyone were passing me. They were telling me that, come on, Saman, you should be the happiest. You know, you live the dream of million people. You carry the hope of million people, and you reach your biggest dream. That was true. But nothing can make me happy afterward, because my biggest happiness was the Olympic Games, and I was there, and that was over, and then I was so down. And that was the time that I started to think, what is my why? And why I'm doing all these things, why I love to be at the Olympics, and why, and everything. And I started to take 2 month break, and I just try to sit down, write. Everything comes to my mind. And then I see, okay, I have a bigger goal. I'm aiming for the Olympic medal. And then I was telling to myself, okay, so imagine you're at the Olympics, you're winning an Olympic medal, then you will be in the same situation again, because there is nothing more than that. And then you will come back and you right. End up with a medal, because it's again the same, you know. When your goal is like something like this, for example, for me it was being at the Olympics, then when I came back, it was over. And then I was so down. And then imagine if my goal is winning the Olympic medal, I go there, I win the medal, I come back with the medal, but then there is nothing more to be able to make me happy. And then that was the time that I started to understand what is my real why, what is my big why. And then I realized I love to motivate people. I love help people to reach their dreams, to tell them that everything is possible. That's why I would love to do all these things. And that's my biggest why. So people ask me like if I'm always motivated to train, and I have to say no, I'm not always motivated. But when I know what's my why, and when I'm thinking of that, when I'm thinking of all the people who might read my story and they want to give up, and if in that moment that they read my story they just decide to try one more time, then I just said, okay, so it doesn't matter how I feel, I will do it for me, for my family, for the people that read my story, for the people who believe in me, and for my why. And I think your why, and if you find it, worth it.
Do you think it's good to always strive for happiness? Because when you know your why, you said that you're not always motivated to go
I'm not
train,
always
right?
motivated, yeah.
And then I thought like a lot of mental health experts, they always say, okay, you have to be happy. And I'm always thinking like, it is not even my goal to be always happy. Like it's my goal to achieve something big, to follow more why, right?
Yeah.
And it's not possible to, in this journey, to be always happy. You know what I mean?
Guess it is possible. Not always, but so when you find your why and when you are in the way to reach your why, basically you are happy because you are in a correct place, and you should be happy because you feel good, you feel that I'm exactly on the place I have to be. I'm doing the thing I love to do.
Yeah.
And so it makes you happy. It's automatically happen, and then you are, every time you don't feel so good, you should know that you are not in a correct direction. And the main goal of the life, you work hard, you want to reach dreams, you want to, make money or whatever, to just live the life and be happy. So if you reach your dream, but you are not happy, then it's not a good goal, right? Because I think the only thing which matters is to live happy.
Yeah. But I think the only way to live happy is to following something bigger, right? And to go into this direction every single day.
I mean, we are different people, and that's what makes this world beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So maybe for some people, having a big goal makes them happy. For the other type of people, just have a normal work and have a salary and have a roof, have a good food, make them happy. You should find what is your happiness and what you want in your life. And this world need all kinds of people. And you should just follow what you really love to. Just be happy.
Saman, if you would have 2 minutes to speak to every single girl in this world, what would you say?
That's so short. I would say be independent, have a big goals, follow your dreams, don't afraid, don't let anyone tell you cannot do something. Doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter which skin color you have, which religion you believe in, like which gender you have, you are able to achieve your dreams. Just believe in yourself, stay positive, and just keep going.
Is there something you've never been asked, but you wished that someone asked you this question?
I was also talking to my friend, and I was telling him that I'm just a spontaneous person. I don't like to make something ready, because I would love just to be in the moment and just tell you my emotion and my thought. And I love the people who are asking so many questions, because it's also helped me to understand myself and everything much better. So I'm really happy if you have any kinds of question, that just ask me. But no, it's nothing just right now in my mind.
If you could write one sentence on a billboard in this world.
I do have my sentence.
Yeah? What would it be?
My journey is my victory.
Your journey is your victory?
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so in my website, if you watched it, I wrote, my journey is my victory. And I wrote, I carried the voice of the people who dare to dream. So, that's my sentence, I guess. It's important to love yourself, to know where you're going, and to know who you are, know your values. And also what I really want to emphasize, and which really make difference and is important, is to celebrate the small things that you have and small victories. Because at night when I want to go to sleep, I have a notebook, and I sometimes I write, sometimes I'm tired, I just think about it. About the good things and the victories and the nice moment, nice feeling that happened to me during this day. And I found many things. When I started, it was hard for me to find, 3 things. But nowadays, I found much, much more than 3. Yeah. Even a nice smile from someone, even a nice message from someone.
Right.
Yeah, even if I eat something and I really enjoyed it, if I had a good training, if I talk to someone that I love. And when I see also the small improvement, it helps me to get more self-confident. And then this small steps, small good feelings, at the end of the day make you to feel much more better. And it's like an energy and fuel for your next day. And it's like if you sleep with a good and positive mood, the next day you will continue it, And then also in the mornings, I try to write down the things that I would love happen in my day. So today when I woke up, I was thinking that, okay, so today I would love to train very good. I would love the weather be nice because it was so cold in the last few days. And so I would love to paddle under the sun. I would love to have a nice podcast. I would love to have some nice cars and many things. And at the end of the day, I see that maybe at the first when I started, I just reached 2 of them. But nowadays, when I look at my list, I guess I can check many of them, and it makes me feel good. And again, everything is about you and how you feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Saman, it was a real pleasure talking
Thank
to you.
For me
I
as
think
well.
it was. I've learned so much today. To be honest, like it was really a great conversation. So I thank you a lot.
Thank you very much.